Hello, and welcome to One Cool Thing, PCMAC's daily show where we talk to you about one cool thing that we've been testing out here in PC Labs. I'm Tom Brandt, this is Tony Hoffman, and today we have a overhead scanner. It's called the CZUR ET16, wait for it, plus scanner.
You got it.
So this thing is actually a scanner, but it comes from the top, right?
Yes.
So we would like you to ask us your questions about scanning, computers, technology, phones, anything else you want to ask us. Put those in the comments, and we will be sure to address them during the show. If you're watching this later on YouTube, we can't do that, unfortunately, but we encourage you to come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. We do this every day live, showing you one cool thing. So the CZUR scanner, this is for professionals, right? I mean, you've got all this gear here that presumably you're going to show us how it works. This is not something that you would set up in your kitchen.
Well, actually, consumers could use it. If you have like old issues of magazines to scan or books, it's great. I mean, it's priced at a point where it's within reach of consumers. Amazon is selling it now for $409.
Okay, so that's expensive. I mean, that's you could buy a computer for that, but it's not like the thousands of dollars that you might spend on a commercial scanner.
That is correct. Professional book scanners can easily cost $2,000 in that range. And this does a good job, and professionals can use it, but it's easy enough to learn that consumers would be able to use it too.
So how do you use it?
Well, basically, it comes with a proprietary software package, and this is a screen from it showing the image that's now being within the field of the scanner.
Okay, so this is a live view of what the scanner camera is capturing.
Yes, the image area is about 11 by 17, and it comes with this dark mat. They recommend that you don't use it with bright lights, and this is not an ideal setting for it.
Right, we're using this in a brightly lit studio. Do not do this at home. Put this in your basement.
And basically, it can scan other things besides books, documents, even small objects that are 3D. It won't scan them as 3D files, but you can get a JPEG that shows reasonably good detail for objects that are less than an inch tall.
Right, say a plastic octopus, for example.
Yes.
Is there anything that it cannot scan? Can you put anything underneath this and it will scan it?
Just about. You can even scan my
hand. You could create
It worked better in our trial runs. I don't think the light is very good.
So speaking of light, how does the lighting work? Presumably it has its own light.
Yeah, well, this is the ET16 Plus.
Oh, okay.
The original ET16 did not come with these little side lights, which also add just help to diffuse the light.
Okay, so you're getting light from the top in addition to the side.
Yes, from the top is both the light and the scan unit is on there, so that it basically captures the image area and lights it at the same time.
Okay, now let's talk about speed. How fast can this thing scan?
Well, in scanning book pages, and actually I scanned a 32-page magazine, 32-page with meaning 16 two-page
You're turning
spreads.
a page 16 times.
And I clocked it at the speed of, I believe it was 7.5 pages per minute.
Okay, so you were able to basically get through that whole magazine in 3 or 4 minutes, essentially.
Yeah, about 4 minutes.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a question.
Why wouldn't you just use a regular flat scanner or multifunction printer?
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, this is a lot quicker. You don't have to close the scanner
Right.
cover on it
Right.
each time, and so you can quickly move from page to page. The software will align the pages.
So that's what this border is. It looks like the border is this yellow box is detecting the border here.
Yes, and if we set it here to auto scan, it should not only detect the image in the scan area, but adjust for it, and basically the scan pages will be at least somewhat straightened.
Right. So there you see it's processed to scan right now. It says we're up to 5 scan pages now. Just scanned another one. So it's automatically scanning this as we go through, right?
Yes, I mean, I would normally be flipping the pages,
Yeah.
and it comes with what are called
Oh, yes.
finger cuts, which allow
This is
you
my
to
favorite part.
to
The finger
hold-
cots are included.
hold down the pages, and supposedly the finger cuts will not show up in the scanned image,
Right.
which isn't quite the case.
But so they have. Let's show this actually on the camera here. So they actually have these yellow finger cots, which have a pattern that supposedly the software recognizes to eliminate it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it will not it will not show the stuff that's underneath the finger cut.
Right, right.
So you have to be careful
extra.
to yes. And actually, right now it's set for just single page scanning. What you would want to do in scanning a book is to change it to facing pages, and
okay.
it would now scan the
Individual,
facing pages.
right.
And then it would split them into JPEGs, as it should be
And so
doing now.
That's what you're seeing along the left here. Well, it's,
Well,
yeah,
those
it's
are
processing
the
this
full
right now.
spreads, but now
Yeah,
it,
so, yep,
now
there
it
you
has
go.
taken
Okay.
the 2 pages
Yep.
and made each one a separate JPEG file.
Right. Now, the question is, though, okay, so this is faster than a flatbed scanner, but what about using your smartphone? Can't you just hold your smartphone, get an app on your phone, and hold that over it?
You can do that, and they actually have some scanners that are basically the frame.
Oh, yeah, just
and
buy
you
a
can
frame.
put your smartphone in, and
Yeah.
they have some. I mean, there are uses for those. I wouldn't say they're efficient enough to be used for high volume scanning.
So
but if-
really, the volume is the difference.
yeah, I mean, and also the software works well and it's integrated. One thing I wanted to mention is that once you get the 32 pages, say, then you can convert the pages, which are now in separate JPEG files. It would be 32 of them, into PDF format, searchable PDF format. You can convert it to a Word format. It has its OCR. It wasn't terrific at optical character recognition, but it wasn't bad.
Let's go ahead and take another question.
Someone asks, does it understand OCR?
Yeah.
And can it scan music notes into notation editors?
I don't believe it can do the latter. In the former, yes, it does convert text into editable formats, either searchable PDF or a Word type format, and it does a decent job.
But you're still going to have to edit that file once you get it. I mean, it's not going to be perfect.
It depends on how the type you use. If
Okay.
it's like Times New Roman or Arial, if it's like 10 points or larger,
What if it's wingdings?
then you might have a problem.
And also, you probably have to rearrange. I mean, it's not going to arrange this exactly. The OCR is not going to recognize that some are image captions, or does it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good for that. I mean, this can also scan just standard documents, and it's not a panacea. I mean, if you need to scan a lot of documents you'll want a scanner with an automatic document feeder, where here you have to switch out the pages by hand.
Right. But you can't actually use an automatic document feeder for a book. So that this is kind of pretty much your best option. I mean, you know, if you have loose leaf pages, obviously an automatic document feeder would be better. But this is pretty much the fastest for a book.
Yeah, I mean, we timed it faster than other things like the book scanners, like the PlusTech A300. There it has a flatbed, and you have to turn the pages. Rearrange. I believe the book would be hanging off the edge with one page showing, and then you would flip it around so that you're scanning the next page. And you can do pretty well with that, but it won't be as fast as something like this.
Now, so we've got smartphones, we've got book scanners, and we've got traditional flatbed scanners. Is there really anything else that's like exactly comparable to this?
Well, you actually maybe the most similar thing is something like the Atiz Mini. We did. It's a book scanner that has a V-shaped place where you set the book, and it has you scan it using an SLR.
Oh, okay. So you have to attach your camera.
Which is in a cradle.
Yeah.
And the thing with about that though is it's like $2,000, and that's not including the camera.
So really, what we're looking at here is probably the most inexpensive overhead scanner that we've tested.
Yeah, I mean we have tested some of those iPhone type.
But that's not a
things that
scanner.
are
That's just
similar.
a stand.
Yeah, it's the frame for a scanner,
Okay.
as is the Atiz book scanner that I mentioned.
So you need an additional device, whether it's an SLR or a smartphone camera, to use those.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of versatility, simplicity, and functionality, and price,
Okay.
this is a very good mix, and that's really why we gave it our editor's choice.
Okay. Now, do we have any more questions?
Can you use it as an overhead projector?
It does have a projector function. There is a mode in the software that will allow you to basically project the area that you're seeing on screen with a projector that's attached to the USB port of this device.
So schools could use that, or I guess anytime you need an overhead projector and a scanner in one thing. Now,
unlike a traditional overhead projector, though, it will not scan transparencies.
Okay. Let's take another question.
Can we see it with the lights on?
So I think actually the lights are on. As we were saying
Yes.
before, there's
Let me
two
just
sources of
see
light.
if we can-
There's a bar here on the left, or I guess on your right actually, and then there is a light coming down from the top, and the orientation is designed to minimize glare, but unfortunately that's all negated by the fact that we have two giant studio lights here kind of whiting that out.
That is true. It's recommended that when you use it in an area without any immediate overhead lights
Right.
that could interfere with the image.
And then if it is dark, you have different levels of lighting, right? You can cycle
Yes,
through low,
yes.
medium, high lights with this button here.
And in testing it, I did so in an area where I couldn't totally avoid ambient light, but reduced it to far less than it is here.
Yeah. Now, this is, as I said at the beginning, the name of the company that makes this is CZUR. This is not a household name. Can you tell us a little bit about what this company is? Why did they call themselves that?
Well, it was founded in 2013. It's based in Shenzhen, China.
Okay.
It launched an Indiegogo campaign for
Oh.
the predecessor of this.
So this was
which
crowdfunded initially.
Yes, for the
Okay.
ET16, and it did very well. It was the second largest earning Indiegogo campaign in China over,
Yeah.
I'm not sure over what period, but
Right.
it did very well, and Amazon picked it up, and they're the US distributor. The acronym is CZUR, stands for Continue zeal until real.
Continue. So CZUR. Continue zeal until real.
So I took that to mean that if you're passionate about something and persistent at it, you can actualize it. And CZUR
As long as you're passionate about scanning overhead documents.
Yes, and CZUR did very well. I mean, we gave
Yeah.
this our editor's choice.
Right.
Our first editor's choice as a book scanner, actually.
And we don't typically review crowdfunded products because they're, who knows what's going to end up happening. But I will say this does not look like, cheap, experiment. This really is polished. The software looks great. This is something that you would buy. I don't know, not hesitate to.
Yeah, I mean, we will review things when they've actually been commercially
Right,
released,
right.
as is true in this case.
Yeah.
And it's good that Amazon is the distributor on it. It just adds to the credibility of the product and the company.
So yes, CZUR ET-16 Plus. Do we have any more questions? We're all good. So and to boot, it's $409 currently on Amazon, which is presumably the only place you can buy it, I think, right?
In America, yes.
In the US, okay. So it's a good deal if you want something that's more than just a hangman's noose to hold your camera while you're taking pictures of documents. This is kind of a step up from that. But other than that, there isn't really a lot that's comparable to it.
That is true.
And for that reason, it is an editor's choice for best
book scanner.
Best book scanner. We will be back tomorrow with yet another one cool thing. As we wrap up Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, there will be lots of coverage about smartphones and everything else that was announced over there. So do check PCMAC.com for this review, for anything else, and we will see you back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with yet another one cool thing. Thanks very much for watching.